cold. It's cold. Time to step out. It's a nice, beautiful morning, though it's chilly. Oh, it's 5:15 a.m. Good morning, Alpha Beta Giants. Welcome to this channel. If you care, please kindly subscribe, share, and like. You're welcome. Let's start this morning.
Man, puffing them brains out. Yes, sir. Puffing them brains out. Puffing, man, puffing out. Stay out, stay out, stay out.
Whoa, it's cold. It's cold and windy. Actually, when I step out in the morning, the temperature just drops to the lowest, and then now the day picks up. I remember when we were young and were being told to indicate that the day is windy by drawing, such kind of trees. Man, never seen it windy like it is. Let me show you how windy it gets here. You can see it. This kind of wind will get you from your single corner, pick you up, turn you around, and throw you right into the arms of your future spouse. It's that bad. It's that bad. Anyway, I digress. Let's continue. So the other day I'm seated at my favorite coffee shop where I normally sit in the morning, and it crossed my mind. I think I made an order of a certain cake, and it crossed my mind. Oh, let's go into flight mode and really think about it. So I was thinking, at the time when you're not working, when you don't have any reliable income and you don't have enough money with you, and you're literally living from hand to mouth, most of the time you don't gain weight. I actually remember there's a friend of mine, the mother, after we had started working, maybe 1 year into it, I meet her at some place, and she looks at me and she asks me, why is it that your stomach is not showing the residue, like the remainder? Now she was asking in my local mother tongue, and what she was trying to say is that for a man to show that you've really been making it in life, your stomach should have some residue. So that residue should make your stomach become bigger or grow fatter. So this time I'm seated at the coffee shop, then I'm thinking, so how exactly does it work? So I start to think about it, and I get to understand that when you start making some money, and technically the society has taught us that when you make it, then you start to afford things that you are not able to afford. In our imaginative world, for you to imagine that you've made it is when you're able to buy the fast foods, the ones that you are not able to buy. You're able to be snacking when you don't even need to be eating anything. You're able to start just inputting stuff into your body, which necessarily, yes, you are not affording, but you also don't realize that even if you're able to afford it, it is not basically healthy for you or good for your body. So yes, you start intaking these things, the sugary stuff. You start intaking like that day when I looked at the cake, and the cake is barely 2 slices of bread. The price is overly overrated. It's like a $3 slice of bread. And with this slice of bread, it is too sugary. Actually, if you ask the attendants at the coffee shop to give you anything that is not sugary, they'll tell you, we don't really have anything that is not sugary, unless you're given something else which will still have a bread on it. And all these are, they are not good sugars for our bodies. But because we're able to afford them, we start intaking them. You're idle, you're watching a movie at home, you start taking the crisps. You start you start snacking into things which you don't know. You start affording to buy sodas, which are again sugars. But all this time your body is immobile, and when you start gaining weight, they tell you join the gym, of which you have to pay for you to lose. And what you don't know is that if you only stop to have all this, then your body will just trim down back to its weight. And I realized we all of a sudden just gain this weight because we are intaking stuff which we were not intaking before. And in the name of having to afford it, these things just get into our bodies, and the residues just keep piling up in our body without any output. And when people see you, they are like, you're doing well, because you're this chubby person. Now you're gaining weight, only to realize later that whatever is making you gain this weight is not anything that is of any help in your body. If anything, it's unhealthy for you. But we all realize it too late. This thing just made me realize all this fallacy of you gain weight because you're earning, because you're making it in life, is a lie created by the society. Yeah, let's watch over our health, snapping out of it and back to real life. Let's now go home. Let's go make some pancakes as we do part 2 of our African timer stories. Let's go to pancakes. This is not a cooking channel, so what we'll do, we'll just run through the recipe and then we'll jump right into it. So here I have some sugar. This is what I'm gonna use. The sugar is just about 2 tablespoons. Some milk. I have a cup, although I ended up using a full cup. 3 eggs and some salt, some pinch of salt there. And then I'll also have some flour. This one was about 1.5 cups. The cup that I'm using for milk, that was 1.5 cups. And then some cooking oil, just a bit of it. So I picked this from somebody's channel. I can't remember where. It is my first time to do pancakes. We'll prepare them together and see how it goes. And for starters, I didn't even have somewhere to mix, so I'll use this to mix the ingredients. Let's go. So while we do this, I'll take into the second part of the African timer story, and then on another video I'll give the summary and the conclusion of what actually I came to learn about an African timer, or what is African timer timing. So my second experience was still within the same duration. I decided to look for a certain club, and this club is called Mimo Club. I think I'd been told about it by one of the hotel workers where I was lodging, and I had decided. So what I need to do is that I need to. Oh, this was a separate time. This was a different time. So this time I was lodging not in Bole. I was actually lodging in. Piesa. They call it Piesa, something like that. So I was lodging there. There is a hotel called Highcan Hotel, and in a certain area for a while. I think there was AU meetings, so I had to look for a cheaper hotel away because the hotels all of a sudden became very expensive. So I was looking for this club which is called Mimo Club, and the hotel attendant had given me directions and told me where it might have been. So I take out my Google and I follow the map. I walked from Piesa. I walked all the way to I remember. It's just up you go to Muscle Square, then you take the airport road, then you go up the first flyover. I don't remember the name exactly. Shore, I think it's called Shore Double, something like that. And then you go past it, where your head still on the airport road. Somewhere there, Google was telling me that I should be able to get that club there. So I went, then I still followed the Google Maps. It diverted me to the right. So I went to the right and I completely got lost. Because where I got and Google was telling me that is where the club should be, I actually found a small restaurant. A small restaurant. In Kenya we call it like a kibanda. But it was a good kibanda. It was a good, like a small just a custom restaurant for locals. So I had an experience in that hotel, by the way, which I'm not sure if it will fit in this story, but I sat there and I ordered some food and I ate. So I ordered and I ate, but there's a story about all that food that I ordered, yeah. So I ate and then I moved, and then I asked around. But now again, English was a problem, so I couldn't communicate very well. So the guys who are working in that small restaurant, they couldn't understand me well, but I kept asking them, Mimo Club, where Mimo Club? And they told me, no, Mimo Club, no. So I decided to walk back. Like it was late in the night. I think it was about 9:30 p.m. So it was a bit late for being out at that time, and I was walking. I was not taking a taxi or taking a bus. So as I was walking back, I decided to ask somebody else about it. So I think back on the main road, because I had diverted, I'd gotten somewhere in, so I had come back to the main road, the airport road. Now I wanted to walk back, and that walk is long. It's more than an hour's walk. So I ask around, and the guy tells me, now I asked in a different building. So the guy tells me, turn right, go 200 kilometers. And in my mind, I am wondering, 200 kilometers. But I realized maybe because of the language barrier, he meant 200 something. So in my head, I told myself, let me go about 200 meters. And this was an opposite direction. Like I should continue on. I shouldn't have taken the diversion. So I walk on, straight on. And then, to my luck, I see a board. And the board is written, Mimo Club. Turn to your right. So I turn to my right, I go on until I find a compound, and it looked like an own compound building. So I get in through the gate and I get into the compound. The compound is so quiet. I start looking around. In my mind, I'm wondering, I thought clubs open early. Like in Kenya, clubs will open even in the afternoon, clubs will be open, only that probably they'll not be putting loud music. But they'll be open to serve food and soft drinks. But this place was deserted completely. So while I'm just walking around and trying to figure out if the place is actually open or not, I hear somebody from the other side say, "Hey, my brother." Then I'm like, Hi, how are you? He say, Good. Then I ask him, "Club open?" Remember, if for places where people don't communicate properly in English, you have to use broken English. Otherwise, you will talk your own English by yourself. So I ask, "Club open?" Then the guy now approaches me and say, No. Oh, close. I asked him, what time? What time club open? What time? Then he tells me, club open 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock, club open. And you know, in my head, I'm having so many questions. I'm looking at him and I'm wondering, well, where do people wake up at 4 a.m. to go to a club? Right now it is about 9:30. It's almost 10 at night. So if you tell me 4 o'clock, so I go sleep, then come back at 4. But all this is just running in my head. So I just confirm with him, 4 o'clock? He says, yes, 4 o'clock, club open. So I decide, let me go back. So I have my walk back. The walk was really long because I had it was late now in the night. I think I got back to the hotel at about 11 p.m. Out was so deserted. Actually, I kept telling my friends there that I had walked that distance and nobody could believe, because they think the place is unsafe and it's not good to walk, and especially for a foreigner. But for me, I just walked. I think the only thing I noticed is that there were a lot of people that were scattered on the streets. They were sleeping on the streets. I passed so many people. It's a number I've never seen. Anyway, so I go back to the hotel, disappointed, and I go to sleep. Well, not planning to wake up at 4 a.m. and go to the club anyway. So I sleep. And then later, like a couple of days later, I meet the hotel attendant again, and I tell him what transpired, what happened. At least he was communicating a bit of good English. So when I tell him I had gone there and I found the place closed, and they told me it will open at 4, he kind of just looked at me and he was like, so what time you go there? I told him 9:30. I was there at 9:30. Then he told me, Ethiopia time? Then I'm like, no, I was there 9:30 at night. Like now, it was basically his night shift, so he was serving me dinner. So I'm telling him, like now, time like now. Then he laughed and then he told me, you are there 9:30. And club open 4 o'clock. I told him, yeah, I was told 4 o'clock. Then he's like, 4 o'clock Ethiopia time. 4 o'clock Ethiopia time, 10 o'clock. You know what that translated to? That this guy who was telling me that the club will open at 4 o'clock actually meant the club will open at 10 o'clock. Like if I had waited for 30 minutes, this club would have gotten open while I was still there. Meaning I was only 30 minutes early. That thing just got me. It was like a blow to my ribs. I was just like deflated. I just looked at him and I asked him, really? 4 o'clock is 10 o'clock? Oh man. That was one of the most disappointing realization. But for some reason, I still didn't have the answer. I only thought there was a conflict of time between how Ethiopians look at time and how the rest of the universe looks at time. That reminds me, just as a hint, would you imagine Ethiopia has a calendar that has 13 months? The 12 months, they have 12 months of 30 days each. And then the additional days that the Gregorian calendar has, additional days for the months which do not have 30 days, which have 31 days, the additional days are taken to a separate month. So they have another 1 month, a 13th month, which has, I don't know if it is 13 days or 12 days, something like that. No, not about 7 days. I think it has 7 days. And that month, nobody is paid salary on that month. So they believe they work for free for 1 month and they are not compensated for that 1 month. The dynamics of time and calendar are on a different level. My pancake got ready. This was I did about 8 or 10 of them. It's time to eat. See you in the next one. I'll be finishing up the story. I'll be telling you how the conclusion goes, how it was explained to me how time is looked at and how time is said in Ethiopia. There is Ethiopia time and there is American time. Thank you. Subscribe. Thank you for watching.